Again, I'm gonna love you over and over. Loving you again, I'm gonna love you.
Hi, this is the Boss Lady with AFTV5, and I am sitting next to Zemill. I know you've been waiting for this interview. I know people probably have been saying, the Boss Lady, when are you going to bring Zemill on? Well, guess what? Zemill is here hitting our city today. We have Texas Relay, Urban Fest, and guess what? Austin have Zemill. So Zemill, welcome to AFTV5.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. It's a pleasure to be here to see you again. Up from Dallas. You know, we hated to see you leave the city, but I see you doing big things here in Austin, so that's outstanding.
Thank you. Hey, before we get into our interview, you guys, and we're going to go behind the scenes today and talk to Zemill, but before we get into the man behind the gift, behind the talent, let's start with a taste of what you are getting to hear when you go to the stores.
This is the first cut on the CD. It is called Come Along and Roll With Me. It's a smooth ride, top down, airing it out, chilling, smooth ride down the freeway. Wake you up in the morning, however you want to roll. Come along and roll with me.
Shut down the computer, it's time to leave work.
About to hit the town and put happy hour on alert. You have warm eyes. Do you mind if I sit by your side? So that's a little bit of, you know, come along and roll with me. Did it with a good friend of mine, Lenny Nance.
Oh, wow.
He talks about, you know, doing something smooth, and I can tell you that the time of the CD we're excited because from 1 to 12 the entire thing is smooth. It's just a smooth ride, and smooth jazz, smooth R&B, neo soul, and of course spoken word. But we even got nice hooks on every song. Check this out. Got what you need. Set yourself free. Come along and roll with me. If you want a good time, come take this ride. Set yourself free. Come along and roll with me.
Oh my goodness.
So that's that.
You guys have to come and get this CD. Like, I know you're feeling it, right? I'm feeling it. Like, I'm like, okay, I have to get back to myself. Where is the Boss Lady at? So I got to finish this interview. Zemill don't throw me off. I should have waited, y'all. I'm trying to give y'all a taste.
We just
I
trying
should
to
have
do it.
waited until the end.
Hey, we just
So I wouldn't be thrown off. Okay, Zemill, you don't throw me off. Okay, let me go ahead and center real quick and bring myself back so the Boss Lady can do this interview behind the scenes with you. That is amazing. Okay, before we go into how you started and where your dreams and your gift and your talent was birthed from, tell us a little bit about, because you're doing something different.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your CD.
The Timeless CD is a collaboration of several friends, and it's been put together with the sole purpose of giving you an opportunity to have something to chill to. Because, you know, music has gone a lot of different directions, and there's so much stuff going on out there, and I felt that it's been a while since you've been able to put a CD in the chamber and just let it play. So the whole goal, believe it or not, I wanted to do a CD for you, for the people, for those people who appreciated really good music. And so
what you're saying, Zemill, is like, I have all these children, so I can have all these children in the car, and I don't have to be like...
Yeah, no. Well, I will take that exception. Now, on Catwoman, number 8, that's not the one you want the kids to be listening to.
Catwoman?
Okay, number 8. You got to skip number 8 with the kids in the car. And a couple of lines on number 9 you got to get. But other than that, no, you're good.
Oh, good.
You're good. You're
so
good.
Basically what you're saying, Zemill, is number 8 is for me and hubby.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I'm with Celebrity Barber Harold McDonald, then I could pop in number 8.
Yeah, pop in number 8.
Okay.
You can let the whole thing play when y'all together.
Okay.
But not with the kids in the car on that one. Okay, so I'm just saying. But overall, we took, you know, smooth jazz, neo soul, spoken word, smooth R&B, blended it together, and gave you a nice mellow ride. And world famous saxophone player Joseph Incelli. We got Lenny Nance, phenomenal Joe McCrae, who did 8 of the Cuts, phenomenal arranger, producer, performer, entertainer. Lotus Washington actually worked with me and did Catwoman with me, and did it with Daryl Good, had it with finished it, mastered it in San Francisco with Dr. J. And I wrote every cut that's on there, and then the guys took their expertise and their music and took my dream. I gave them a note, and they wrote for me a symphony, which came out to be timeless, which is, I promise you, it's a very smooth ride. And it's diverse. So it's 12 cuts, right? And not one cut is the same.
Amazing.
Not one cut is the same, but it all flows together. It took me 4
you
hours
just don't want to turn it off.
Yeah, it took me 4 hours just to put the order of the songs, because I wanted it to flow just right. So again, it was done with you in mind. It was done with the musical aficionados in mind, so that you could appreciate it and have something that you could take home, take anywhere, entertain your family, friends, ride, like I said, around the park, vacation.
I can see that.
So,
and I love, Zemill, what you said. You said, I made it for you. And I think that was important, because sometimes I wonder, when music is being produced, is it being produced, or even entertainment, period, is it being put forth with everybody in mind? You know, I really don't, I can't. It's difficult for me to choose to listen to something, and definitely not what you have. Like, you have poetry. You are educational. You inform. You enlighten.
Yeah, I think that, you know, again, the versatility of the CD, and I'm very, very blessed. I'm humbled, and I'm very, very blessed by the gift, because what I try to do is to translate what the gift and the message is and how it comes to me. Now, I don't always get it right. Sometimes I don't get it right. Sometimes I don't get it right. But when I get it right, and it's communicated in the way with fluidity and without ambiguity, and the message moves, then it works. And so this CD, I took away from the first CD, which was Lives and Situations and in the Mix, right?
Which was
and
awesome.
Which we did the combination of spoken word. This is totally about the music, because at my origin, I am a lyricist and a songwriter. So, and the poet is like number 3. But I mean, I know, so the poetry is in there. But as you said, and I thank you for that, because I wanted to also give you content. Because a lot of times, you know, you got the words, you got the music, but we're not saying anything. So it's not a knock on what's out there or what's going on now, but for me, you know, it was a pleasure putting this thing together with the people that work with me on the project, and we all feel really, really good about it.
How did you bring so many great people together for your project?
Really good question, really good question. I have worked with Joel on In the Mix, worked with Lotus, and Daryl Good, who does engineer, and Dr. J. And it's a strange thing, because Joseph Incelli, who is world famous, again, saxophone player, a friend of mine, Lenny, was going to get me to have a guy do the sax for me. But he didn't show. The guy that we were going to get didn't show. So the last day, the last song that we completed, Joseph Incelli called me and said, I wanted you to do some lyrics for me for some things that he was doing. And fate, you call it fate, you call it divine intervention, but it was the last day of production of the CD, and I didn't have a saxophone player. And on this cut called Tonight, with Joseph Incelli is killing, he's just killing it.
I heard it.
I had to have a saxophone player. So the song didn't have the sax on it until I got that phone call. I got that phone call. He said, you know, I need you to do some stuff for me. I'd like for you to work with me on a couple of things, right? And then I said, you know what? This is like divine intervention, because I need a saxophone on this song.
God.
And he
it's
called
the last day.
I pulled up to Daryl's house. We were recording. We were actually getting ready to mix it with Jay and Daryl Good. We were about to do the song and just say, you know, but I kept saying, I gotta have a saxophone. Phone rang, it was Joseph. I said, will you do it? I asked, will you do it? He said, sure, I'll do it. Came in, killed it, did it in a cut. He's that good. Did it. Then
so you didn't have to keep going.
No. And he did another one called Lover's Holiday, which is the number 3 cut on there, where he heard the cut.
Wow.
He said the music is so rich. He stood there and did it in one take.
Oh my
He didn't
goodness.
even.
That's
He listened to it.
professional.
He's off the
Oh
chain.
my
Off the chain.
goodness.
Totally. So yeah.
So
it
you
was
can
good.
understand how he earned that title.
Oh yeah. But all of those guys are good. Joel is phenomenal. Lenny is
Amazing.
phenomenal. Lotus is tight. Young
Yes,
Cat.
Zemill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had, I just threw that in there. So it was fortunate to bring everybody together, and because we as a team felt good about the music and the content. Because I'm talking about love in a very romantic place, and I'm talking about sensuality in a very deep place. And then the message is that, you have to enjoy yourself. You have to enjoy life. But if I don't touch you here, then I've done nothing. And so it starts here and flows everywhere else. Well, in addition to the people who came together for the CD, also I just have to give a special shout out to the great Ombre the Great, whose background vocals on the cut did an amazing job. Dion Q. Sanders, who did the background vocals for Tell Me How You Like It, which is the last cut on the CD. And then Jay, a young lady whose engineering prowess and expertise really helped us out with the sound. So overall, again, the musicians and the other people I mentioned earlier, but Ombre actually killed the background vocals on everything he was a part of, and Dion is so very smooth. So again, I'm thankful for all those people who were a part of this project.
Oh my, Zemill, that's deep. I love that. Okay, so when did you take us back, Zemill? Tell us, when did this start for you? When did you realize that I have something to give to the world? Like you said, I'm a
Lyricist, yeah.
lyricist, yes.
Yeah, well, you know what? Another good question. I had actually started writing when I was 6, right? Won a poetry contest.
You said 6?
6, yeah.
Did you say 6?
Yeah, it's a true story. I was entered into a poetry contest by my first grade teacher. The poem was called The Little Mermaid.
Oh my.
And I won a citywide poetry contest for this. Was at the time grew up in the projects of West Dallas, right?
Oh
and
my
I didn't even know people lived in houses. So when I won the contest, they took me to Mesquite, which Mesquite is not like Highland Park, but to me, if you're coming from where I came from, nice houses and those kind of things. And so I got a chance to leave the projects and go outside and look beyond those walls out there.
Yes, which a lot of people don't.
Which a lot of people don't get an opportunity to do, and that's what our young people need to do, because you need to see more than what's on TV, because the world is bigger than that.
Yes.
So when I wrote that, I had to go perform the poem, and then I thought to myself, as I stood in front of those people at 6 years old, I said, okay, I'm feeling this at 6.
Wow.
And my 6th grade teacher, who was a major inspiration, said, you have an opportunity to be something. You have a voice. She told me that when I was 6. And you know what? I believed it. And that's the difference.
Wow.
And that we all have a gift. You have a gift.
That's
Your
so
personality, your thing that you do, this is what you do, right?
Yeah.
We all have our gift, and so we just have to work to pursue it and put in the work, because it, with anything, it just doesn't, it's okay to have the gift and the talent, but you also still have to put in the work, because I realized a long time ago that I had the gift of writing, but I didn't have the performance, the presentation. Everything had to line up to be right.
Yes.
And so it was hard work. So I put in the work, and I continue to work, because you learn something every day. I continue to grow every single day. And the In the Mix CD was really nice, and it was really smooth, but all the things that I learned from the In the Mix CD, I took it and applied it here. And I believe, again, that as long as the voice is true and the contents, and there's a message in it, and it can move you, move, groove, and soothe you, then I think that is the combination. Those are the kind of things that makes up Zemill, and I felt like this is what I was born to do.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so, oh my gosh, you guys, you have to know that this is amazing. This is awesome. For all you guys that's out there and you're viewing us right now and at this very moment, and you get to hear Zemill. I think Zemill is sharing things today, so you don't want to get up to go get some cookies and milk. This is not the time to go grab the orange or apple for you guys that are health experts out there. You don't want to miss what Zemill is saying, because Zemill is revealing what it costs to be who he is today. And I think it's phenomenal, you know, because I want parents out there who are listening to hear how important it is to, you know, make sure that you cultivate your children,
Oh,
even
absolutely.
as 6.
Absolutely, absolutely. It, you know, it starts at that time. I adopted a school that I do poetry at from time to time during Poetry Month. This is National Poetry Month, so I suggest to all the people out there, go support your favorite poets. Poetry is not what you think, and what I do is called jazz, and so it's not your everyday daffodils in the hills, and you
Yes.
know, we can all write deep things that, you know, boggle the mind, but from my perspective, if I don't say anything that you understand, and again, that doesn't move you and touch you mentally, spiritually, that it doesn't connect with you, then again, we've done nothing. So go support your local poets. But I went back to a school, 9-year-old, fourth graders. They were doing this poem. I was doing this poem called Snap, and they absorb everything. So that's why we got to get them early.
That's
We got to get them
right.
early, because
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, once they get past that 10,
I
11, 12,
agree.
you just
Almost
still
like they're
reaching.
formed.
Yeah, you got to get them
Yes.
between that 6 and 9, that 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And these fourth graders, it was amazing how quickly they picked up the poem.
Oh
And they
my
had to repeat something after me, and so by the time I got to the second round of the chorus of the verse, they were saying the verse with me, and they were saying the poem with me. They were saying the hook with me, and I was like amazed. But they're like sponges.
Oh my.
But our guidance and our leadership through parents and what we
That's
do
right.
is paramount in the upbringing and how, you know, our kids perform and what they do in their lives, because they bring up a child, you know.
Yes.
And it's a different day now.
I know.
Different day. They live in a different time, different things
Yes.
that they deal with. So
Yes.
different kind of deal.
One of the things that I think that is important, because we see it in the news all the time, Zemill, where you hear celebrities and they're always talking about, well, I'm not a role model. This is what you hear today. You know, I put out millions of copies of my music or my entertainment, but I'm not a role model. But I love it how your perspective is as a celebrity. Tell our viewers, like, you know, how you feel about presenting your content and encouraging people. You don't just, it's not just children though. You encourage and help marriages, and you giving couples something to listen to, and you're sharing deep content. I mean, how does that feel to know that people, you are a role model?
You know what? I don't take anything lightly, and I'll be the first to tell you I'm no angel. I'll be the first to tell you I've done some
Really?
dastardly things, right? I've done some deviltry in my life, but I've understood that I've come to understand that, and see that whole thing, it is falling down. We had to, you know, it says it. It say, okay, this is what
Yes.
happens. It's the calamities of life, right?
Oh,
Things
that's
happen.
good.
So, but what I do understand, what I've come to understand, is that it doesn't matter who you were or what you've done. It's who you are and what you're doing now.
Oh, I love it.
And so what I try to do is, and those people who deny being a role model, the fact of the matter is that the people see them every single day.
Absolutely.
And the people embrace what they do. And the kids are so influenced by what they see.
I
you know,
agree.
the kids are so influenced about what they see and then what they, you know, hear. And I believe that, you know, whether I'm saying something sensual, I really work to do it tastefully. If I'm doing something motivational, if I'm speaking and doing it motivational, it's coming from the heart. It's from an experience that I've had, not something that I've made up. It's coming from a place of purity in terms of the thought and the process and the content. And I don't take that thing lightly. And I realize that, you know, the name is growing. And so therefore I have to stand for something, because if not, I stand for nothing. So the idea is to always show content and to always project yourself in the image that you would like to be seen. And therefore, if you do what it is that you feel is right, and it's in your heart and right to do, and how you carry yourself on a daily basis, being a role model is a byproduct of who you are and what people see, because
Yes.
the you that they see every day should be the you that's who you are. And you know me well
Absolutely.
enough now to know this is who I am.
Yes.
There's no faking and shaking. I'm the
Yes.
same guy. I'm the same
Absolutely.
guy that, whether it's my first set where it's 5 people there or
Yes.
5,000,
Yes.
I'm the same guy. And that will never change because, I come from humble beginnings and I never forget where I came from. So
Oh, I
I'm good with
love
that.
it. Zemill, that is so awesome. And Zemill is not just talking. Like, most celebrities are late. Like, everybody just have to stand to the side and wait for the celebrity to get here whenever they get here. Zemill was early. So, Zemill, thank you for that.
Man, you got to be on time.
Celebrities sometimes just don't.
So-
But you are a man of your word, and thank you for that. That
Absolutely.
is such a rare commodity these days that need to be portrayed. I would like to ask you, like, the doors that was open for you because of you pursuing your talent. Have you been amazed by some of the doors you've walked through and the people you've met?
I've been really amazed, by a lot of the people, very humbled and honored, like, again, yourself, who's offered me, the opportunity or the venue to, the platform to do what I do. I've been very blessed, and it's been a nice ride. The
Yes.
people there have been some people that have done some wonderful things for me, and as I continue to grow and I continue to get better and I work harder on the craft and what it is that I'm doing, we create our own opportunities. And I believe that more than anything, I believe that we are the sum of the choices we make, the chances we take, and the opportunities we create.
Oh, I love
So
it.
when it's time, you have to be ready for that time. And I had to, that is something that I've learned and I've grown into.
Oh,
Because
I love
I'll
it.
never forget my first show. Talk about the opportunity at T-Ball. First show, I was performing with another poet by the name of Seven, and he was so good,
I
right?
just interviewed Seven.
You just interviewed
Hey,
Seven?
Seven.
Seven. What's up, bro?
Yeah.
I was on stage with him, and I thought I was pretty good. And it was my first big show, and I was opening up for him. And his command and mastery of the mic and of the skill, as I sit back and looked at him and I looked at what I did, and I understood, okay, I understand now why he is where he is at. And I told him after the show that the next time I perform with him, because at that time I feel like he had already graduated with a PhD.
Yes, he already did that.
Yeah, he already
Been there, done
graduated with a PhD. I was just leaving kindergarten, and that's
wow.
how I felt after the show. I mean, the performance
Wow.
itself, I didn't feel was that bad, but it wasn't where he was.
Absolutely,
And so
absolutely.
I told him that I'm going to get there. And so that next year when we came down and he did T-ball, we killed it.
Oh
It was
my
standing room only, and I said, okay,
goodness.
I'm never going to walk out on the stage and feel like it's not about, it's a personal thing. You have to, and that's something you're talking about the young people or the message and giving it to them, the message. It's got to be personal that you
Yes.
want to be good,
Yes.
that you have to work at it, and it doesn't. Again, you can have all the talent in the world, but there are a lot of very talented people in the world that are not successful.
Absolutely.
So you still have to put in the work, and so I ended up thinking to myself, it's a great learning experience, great learning experience. And even my friend Joe McCrae, who was there that night, who was playing the backup, who was doing the music, he said, your content is great, but you got to get to the presentation part of it. And so once you get to the presentation, once your content reaches the level of your presentation, he said, it's over, it's a wrap. And I took that to heart. It was constructive criticism, but I took it to heart, and that meant something to me. And so I practice every day on the lines.
That's something that most of us don't do. We don't want constructive criticism. We don't want any kind of criticism. And we sometimes are not mature enough. We're not emotionally mature to say, hey, let me take this and let me, develop myself even better for where I'm going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that about you.
I totally take that to heart. Another friend of mine, Crystal Lassiter, she was saying the other thing that Seven did and that I noticed, and she was there that night also. She was a volunteer for the Black Academy of Arts and Letters, who've given me the opportunity now to be on the Poets and Jazz series for 4 years in a row.
Whoa.
So I've been now for 4 years in a row at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters at the Poets and Jazz series. And Crystal said one of the things you did on the stage, there were a couple of poems. It was a very difficult poem, and the cadence had to be just right. And because I was okay with the content, but I wasn't fluid, I wasn't as fluid as Seven was. When I stumbled a little bit, it threw me off. But she said, you have to know your content so well that you flow through it. And when you have those moments, only you will know the words that you missed, right? And so I was trying to say this phrase, you know, there's something we got to do. There's something, I have your attention. And I stumbled with it, and I got through it. And I went back, and I redid the poem the next year. And the poem, after I stumbled with it, it actually says, may I have your attention? There is something I feel we simply must mention. We need a plan to save our children and our community, but let us start first with our serious lack of unity. Currently, we live in a state of a crab in a barrel type mentality. Although this is reality, it must not become our finality. I believe it's due to the breakdown of the family unit and the systematic separation of a society that used it to collapse the ties that bound us as we refused it, and perpetuating the brokenness in our homes that led to it.
Wow.
I couldn't do that. I had to work to get to that. And so I learned a lot. And I was taught a lot from a lot of people.
I love it.
And again, I learned something every day. So.
Zemill, I love that, because you're saying that you're into personal development.
Every day.
Strongly.
Every day.
And you're saying that I'm still doing it. I'm
Every
not
day.
just because I don't, you're not at a place yet where you say, I'm there. You know, Kirk Franklin, we just seen him not too long ago, and he said, I'm going to work this new project as if it was my very first one.
Every day.
So he said, I'm going to be out there signing autographs. I don't care to the last one falling out. I love that.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a champion.
Yes.
Yeah,
You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to put in the work.
I love it. Okay, now you don't put in a lot of work. Let's
Yes,
talk
I
about
do.
that.
Yes,
I mean, you a book author. We didn't talk about. Tell us about your first book.
First book, Thoughts and Vision, was a combination of something that I wanted to do for some time. Thoughts and Vision, Poetic Works of Love, Life, and Inspiration by E. Arabis Zemill. I went from E. Arabis Zemill because there were some people having trouble saying Arabis, which the name means doubly fruitful, wild and rare, and Zemill is joyous melodies. So I decided to just keep the Zemill, because you know how we'll make up, we'll work a name, we'll work a name, we'll work a name, so now it's just Zemill, which means joyous melodies in Hebrew. And so the first book was Love, Life, and Inspiration, Poetic Works of Love, Life, and Inspiration, and it was a nice ride. It was a journey. It was actually the story of my life told through poetry.
Wow.
So I use many of the poems to tell my story with the poetry. The new book, which I'm not going to give the name out yet because we don't have a date yet, but the new book that's going to be tight. Now I have shown you, let you get a little clip of it.
The cover is hot.
Yeah, so
I'm just going to put that out there right quick.
So we're working on it. As soon as I get a date, I'm going to make sure that I let you know, because we'll have to talk again, because you're the first actually PR public person that I've actually shown the cover to. So
thank you. That was an honor, Zemill. It was beautiful, and but you know, it seems so much different than your first. As far as the cover, definitely.
Yeah.
But what is amazing is it doesn't surprise me because of who you are. You know, you're multi-talented, multi-gifted, and you're always trying to give your people, your fans, your best.
Absolutely. You know what? I believe when you pay your money to come see me, when you pay your money to come see anyone, you should bring it every night. You should bring it every night. Bring it every single night.
Yes.
And when you do that, your people will appreciate it and they will feel it. Because my audiences and my shows are interactive.
Yeah.
I mean, guys are going to pull off, guys are going to get in it, the women are going to get in it.
I love it.
I want to entertain you. More of a spoken, not just pajazz, the pajazz experience, but I also want to entertain you. So, you know, for the people who go to attentionrequired.com, go to attentionrequired.com, you'll learn a lot more about me. For the books, the CDs, and all that is at attentionrequired.com. It's E. Arabis Zemill on Facebook, @Zemill on Twitter.
Okay.
And befriend me. Let's be friends. Come along and be a part of this journey. Come along and roll with us. It's going to be a nice ride. It's a beautiful thing. And like I said, for all things about Zemill, go to attentionrequired.com and you know, you'll get an idea of who the man is.
Oh, that's awesome. Zemill, before we go off the air, we're getting ready to close down, but before we leave, can you look into the cameras and give a tip to that person who is inspiring to be like you, and they just need just a tip that maybe you wish you would have had when you was up and coming?
To all my friends, to all the pajazzes, to everyone out there who ever wanted to do anything with their life or talked about doing something, my message is this, is that stop talking about what you're going to do and just do what you're talking about. It is not going to be easy. The people that you think that are going to support you, the people that you feel that are going to be, you know, there for you, don't concentrate on who is going to be there for you and what they are going to do, because at the end of the day, it's all about what you're going to do. It's about your effort. It's about your work. It's about your level of commitment. And ultimately, persistence is omnipotent. You cannot give up. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're going through, especially when times get tough, remember these words: never give up. And most of all, you've got to continue to believe in yourself. Believe in who you are, your gift. You are gifted. You are beautiful. You are talented. But you have to take that, manifest that thing inside of you, and be the person and enhance the gift and show the world who you were born to be, and bring to them what you have in you to give to them every single day.
Oh, that is amazing. Hey, before we go off the air, can you tell people where to reach you one more time?
Attention Required has all the information, the CD, the books. We got T-shirts coming, sold T-shirts and merchandise. You gotta get you a T-shirt, the Pajazz.
Oh, yeah.
The Pajazz, indulge in the Pajazz experience. Earbis Zemill on Facebook. There are 1 billion people on Facebook, but there's only one Earbis Zemill on Facebook, which is really, really cool. And then @Zemill on Twitter. @Zemill on Twitter, Earbis Zemill on Facebook. AttentionRequired.com is the website. The latest CD is called Timeless. And for my boss lady here, the title of the new book is called Love Unleashed.
Hey, you have heard it here first with Delonica McDonald, a.k.a. the Boss Lady, sitting here with Zemill. You must go follow him and get your CD today. This is Delonica McDonald, the Boss Lady, signing out, AFTV5.
Mind if I sit by your side? I was wondering if I could interest you in the ultimate joyride. There'll be no pressure, I'll be on my best behavior. I believe that every moment in life should be treated like fine wine. It can be rushed, it has to simmer, and then be served later. You are very lovely, and your name is? It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Zemill. And might I add, that smile you're wearing has hypnotic appeal.
I got what you want, got what you need. Set yourself free, come along and roll with me. If you want a good time, come take this ride. Set yourself free.